not a YouTuber, just like making videos. When I used to work at a penal facility, you know, the guys, the detainees, they used to crack and bust jokes on each other, bust jokes on the guards there, you know what I'm saying, joning, roasting, billing, whatever term that you fancy to call this, you know, cooking people and so forth. And the inmates would tell me like, hey, we don't mean any harm by it, you know, we laugh just to keep from crying. That is an interesting philosophy. You laugh just to keep from crying, and that's real, you know, because I'm figuring that these guys, you know what I'm saying, they got a lot of weight on their shoulders, you know what I'm saying, their future seems uncertain, you know, they have a whole lot of problems, so therefore to escape from it, you know what I mean, they just go into hardy, hard. And I think about LA, and LA carries this banner. I know this has to be his mantra. Laugh to keep from crying. Now, I've been trying to be cordial with LA. I've been trying to be cool with this guy. I've even been trying to be his friend. Everybody who sees it knows it. But he kept taking pot shots at me and so forth. And I wanted to be reluctant to respond, but there's something that is quite disturbing here. Now, it's already been confirmed that this guy in LA is a big fat liar. There's no way he can fix his face to try to judge anybody, to try to break somebody down, to try to psychoanalyze some people, to call shit out, and so forth. But he's going to keep busting jokes and so forth, and you know, and he's just escaping. He's escaping his own hellish reality. That's what he's been doing. I'm taking his aggression out, or trying to be very jovial, insulting, downright humiliating to people that in no way has caused the strife in his life. You know, nobody on this corner of YouTube, they don't owe LA any money. You know what I mean? They're not screwing LA's girl. They didn't create LA's problem. You know what I mean? Did LA roasted that judge when he stood there in front of that judge? Did he roasted him? And so forth. So, you know what I mean? This is interesting. Because, you know, I think about it. You know, I reflect. Now, first of all, let's say this. Now, when LA went through his lifestyle transformation, when he went to had his hiatus, you know, or he was sitting inside that kennel getting 3 hots in a cot. When he came out, when he transformed, everybody was happy. They were applauding him. It seemed like he has finally graduated to adulthood. But it was all a lie. It was a farce. You know, because he said that he had 2 businesses. He said that he's starting his own record label up with his artist. Even though this dude constantly says that rap music is detrimental to the black commonwealth, but then he will see him turn around and be like, oh, I'm dropping my mixtape and this and that, and check out my boys Chaos, okay, and so forth. But this wasn't a little small black lie. No, this was a gigantuan big white lie. Nope, I did not say that wrong. This was not a small black lie. This was a behemoth-sized Christopher Columbus discovered America white lie. And I'm like, and as they say, you don't have to lie, Craig. You know what I mean? I'm like, how is he going to get out of this one? No, but what he's going to do, he's going to do a whole, what I consider, he's going to do a whole lot of neglect, deflect, and eject. You know, and to take the focus off him, and he's going to sit there and say that, well, I told people I was in jail and Google Hangouts. I'm like, no, when you first got out of, when he was first released out that kennel, He told us that he was about to get married and so forth, and we congratulated him. We applauded him. I'm like, even if LA, we were just happy to see him with a job, you know. He looked like a civilized human being in decent society. You know, I'm like, he could have came on camera with a fucking Chuck E. Cheese outfit, that Chuck E. and we would be like, oh wow, you got a job, you know. But you know what I'm saying, and people are going to say that I'm kowtowing off of Mike Mills, but the white man made him get a job. A higher authoritarian figure told him, made him, forced him to change his lifestyle, to do this, to do that. You know, and that's the thing. That's why he's so disingenuous. He's a liar. You know, that's being a snake, a slippery eel. And who are you trying to impress? LA would have been better off coming out saying that, hey, you know, I was locked up in the pokey for 3 months. You know, now I'm out. I'm on probation. I'm in a halfway house and so forth. And that's the killer part. What really set off alarms in my head, you know, and with a lot of people, because I'm like, we're not stupid, LA, is that when he made that video saying, I'm going to return on November 18th. This is funny. You make a video stating what date you're going to return in a video. And I'm saying to myself, well, why isn't he filming videos inside his house? Why do we see that rugged looking wall in the background? You know, that means LA was so anxious to jump back into this dead-end zone of YouTube that he was trying to make videos in a halfway house. He was making videos in a halfway house or a woke release program and so forth. You know, judging people, still snapping jokes. I'm like, and then this is why, see, I never took LA's Real Talk videos seriously. I think that they're mediocre at best because he doesn't know how to do it. He speaks in such simple terms. He doesn't know how to do a proper dialysis of the situation. But you know, he comes out with that video saying, while he's in that halfway house or work release program, saying, I don't like the state of what I see with of my people, with black people. I bet you don't. I bet you don't at this point. But no. It's funny because how I'm going to take his Real Talk videos seriously when he can't even take care of his own, when someone had to make him do it. And then LA constantly talks about, we're part of the machine, we're all part of this machine, you know what I'm saying? We're cogs in motion here. And then I sit back and I'm like, man, now look at LA. Now, I don't believe in this concept of modern day slavery because we have a choice. But I did say that the closest thing we do have to slavery is the penal system, you know. And LA is a slave by both his definition and my definition of slavery. You know, I'm like, he's most likely on probation or parole. I'm like, he doesn't have, I'm like, he's sitting there busting jokes, but he don't even have his freedom. He's all bind and tied up into the system. You know, he's another stat. Like me, look, I don't have to work. I can quit my job if I want to, you know, not ever have to work a day in my life. I can up and move to another state. I can up and move to another country, and it will be perfectly legal. You know, but LA can't do that. He has to constantly report to somebody. They're taking money out of his check. Can't even keep his whole check. Taking money all out of his check to pay child support. Man, I'm like, he is completely trapped in the system. The second Jim Crow. Ask Michelle Alexander about the second Jim Crow. Laugh to keep from crying. And you know, this is the situation we have here. And what really chips my ass, what I consider, what I detest the most about LA is that when I reflect on all the times he sat around that house, big ass hole in the wall, and wanted to roast people and cook people, bring down Wood Green Team, bring down Tommy Sotomayor, you know, even though he was for Tommy Sotomayor, against Tommy Sotomayor, for Tommy Sotomayor, against Tommy Sotomayor, going back and forth like a goddamn pendulum. He could have been out there working. He could have avoided this catastrophe. You know, he could have been out there working, satisfying his baby mothers. So how in the fuck I'm going to take this guy pro-black talk And then him talking about the coons, the coons, the coons. LA represents a trope of black men. He represents every single stereotype to a T. If LA represented the black man as a stereotype anymore, he'll be a racist white dude. You know, take your time to figure that one out. You know what I'm saying? Bad English, horrible grammar, no job, forced to get a job, caught up in the system, multiple baby mothers. And that's why LA gets so offended in this corner of YouTube when we talk about shit. You know, he gets offended when someone mentions they have a job and they're doing well in life. You know what I mean? That just tempers his, that flares his temper. But if the shoe fits, wear it. And that's the thing. And then he wants to sit around and want to call people coons and darkies and colored boys and things of that nature, man. Handle your own life, man. I'm like, we didn't create the problems. LA is LA's own worst enemy. Ultimately, LA is going to have to stand in front of that mirror and roast himself. You know what I mean? He's going to look at himself. He's going to, I'm like, deal with his own trials and tribulations and his demons. But he's going to escape to this realm of YouTube to make people laugh just by busting jokes, that one-note comedy. And as I said, I'm like, he could have been out there, instead of doing all of this on YouTube, being cantankerous. He could have been out there getting him a job. You know what I mean? He didn't even have to, you know what I mean, spend 3 months in jail. Could have kept people happy. And I guarantee you, when Johnny, when the long arm of the law came and got LT, he was probably in the process of making some fucking video, you know, when they came and got him. And then he has to report to somebody. He's monitored. I'm like, he is, like he's trapped in the system. And it's sad. I'm telling you, it's sad that so many black men get caught up this way. But you know, but the fact that it's hard for me to have sympathy for him just to see his own actions here on YouTube. I know he's going to call me. He's going to sit there and call me ugly. He's going to say, "Oh, you ain't got no kids." Well, my girl don't have any kids. Ask her why she ain't got any kids. You know, don't worry about my life. I have not been proven to be a liar. I never got up here on YouTube and lied about anything and somebody exposed me. Why? What for? Who the fuck am I trying to impress? So LA is a weak ass dude if he wants to try to impress these people here. You know what I'm saying? People come here, they don't take this corner of YouTube is a guilty pleasure. And as far as LA having kids, he says, well, I have kids, I'm going to leave a legacy. What good is that if you can't take care of them? What good is that if you want to sit in front of that computer and pass judgment on other people? You know, I'm like, a cockroach can multiply, any living organism can multiply, can copulate, have sex and multiply. You know what I'm saying? There's some creatures that have sex with themselves. No, that's true. Some microorganisms. But you know, that's the thing. So I'm like, LA is LA's own ultimate challenger. You know, LA's own conscience. It haunts him in his dreams. And that last video he did about Wood Grain Team, Mike Mills' downfall, which was fucking atrocious. Now, I mean, he had some funny videos when he came back. I give him that. I'm not going to take that away from him. But his last video, if you really paid attention to him, it seemed like he was about to bust out and cry. Now, his face seems like it was just going to shatter, especially at the end when he made that face. You know, laugh to keep from crying. That's all I want to say for this. Thanks for watching, and Sally forth.